The world is witnessing a profound shift in maritime power. China, once a continental giant focused primarily on land-based threats, has embarked on an ambitious journey to become a dominant force on the high seas. Beijing's leaders have made it clear that a powerful navy is essential for China's great rejuvenation and its aspirations to secure its interests globally. Chinese shipyards are launching new warships, from advanced destroyers to aircraft carriers, at a rate that far outstrips any other nation. This relentless production has already resulted in the plan surpassing the United States Navy in terms of the sheer number of vessels. This naval awakening has far-reaching implications. For centuries, the oceans have been dominated by Western powers, first European navies and then, decisively, the United States Navy since World War II. China's rise challenges this long-standing order. The emergence of a powerful Chinese navy introduces new complexities into international relations, creating both opportunities for cooperation and significant risks of competition and conflict. The global community, especially nations in the Asia-Pacific, watches with a mixture of awe and apprehension as China's naval capabilities continue to grow, altering the strategic calculus for all involved. At the heart of China's naval modernization are its aircraft carriers, potent symbols of global power projection. The plan's carrier program has progressed with remarkable speed. The Liaoning, a refurbished Soviet vessel, served as a crucial training platform. It was followed by the Shandong, China's first domestically built carrier, which incorporated lessons learned from the Liaoning. Now the world is closely watching the Type 003 carrier, the Fujian. Beyond carriers, China has been rapidly commissioning highly advanced surface combatants. The Type 055 destroyers, sometimes referred to as cruisers due to their size and capabilities, are a prime example. These formidable warships are equipped with sophisticated radar systems, extensive electronic warfare suites, and a large number of vertical launch cells capable of firing a diverse array of missiles. The underwater dimension of China's naval power is also receiving significant attention. The plan is modernizing its submarine fleet, developing quieter and more capable nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines and nuclear-powered attack submarines. The sheer scale and velocity of China's shipbuilding program are arguably its most impressive naval achievement. Chinese shipyards are currently producing warships at a rate that dwarfs any other nation. This industrial capacity allows the plan to rapidly expand its fleet size, replace older vessels with modern equivalents, and introduce new classes of ships with advanced capabilities. This shipbuilding supremacy is no accident. It is the result of decades of focused investment, national strategic planning, and the leveraging of China's vast manufacturing base. State-owned shipbuilding corporations, such as the China State Shipbuilding Corporation, operate some of the largest and most modern shipyards in the world. A key aspect of this shipbuilding success is the increasing emphasis on indigenous design and production. The ability to design and build complex warships domestically is a hallmark of a mature naval power. For over 7 decades, the United States Navy has been the undisputed hegemon of the world's oceans. Its power is built upon a fleet of technologically superior warships, unparalleled global reach, and decades of operational experience. The U.S. Navy operates 11 nuclear-powered supercarriers, a force unmatched by any other nation, each capable of projecting enormous air power across vast distances. These carrier strike groups, supported by advanced cruisers, destroyers, and submarines, form the backbone of American maritime dominance. When comparing the plan and the U.S. Navy, numbers can be misleading. While China now possesses a larger fleet in terms of ship count, the U.S. Navy still commands a significant advantage in overall tonnage and the capabilities of its individual platforms. American aircraft carriers are larger and carry more aircraft than their current Chinese counterparts. U.S. nuclear-powered submarines are widely considered to be quieter and more technologically advanced. The U.S. Navy has a much larger and more experienced corps of naval aviators and submariners. However, the gap is undeniably closing, particularly in specific regions like the Western Pacific, where China can concentrate its growing forces. Section 5. Strategic Depths. Why China Seeks Naval Dominance. China's pursuit of naval dominance is driven by a complex interplay of strategic imperatives that extend far beyond simple coastal defense. As China's economy has grown, so too have its global interests. Beijing now needs to protect its vast overseas investments, its citizens working abroad, and its extensive network of international trade routes. A primary driver is the imperative to secure China's sea lines of communication, or SLOCs. China is heavily reliant on maritime trade for its economic prosperity, particularly for the import of energy resources like oil and natural gas, much of which transits through contested or vulnerable choke points such as the Strait of Malacca. Beyond defensive considerations, China's naval expansion is a clear statement of its ambition to project power and influence on the global stage. Perhaps the most pressing strategic driver for China's naval buildup is the unresolved issue of Taiwan. Section 6. The South China Sea, a crucible of naval power. The South China Sea has become a central arena for the display and testing of China's burgeoning naval power. Beijing lays claim to almost the entirety of this vital waterway through its ambiguous nine-dash line, a claim that overlaps with those of several Southeast Asian nations and has been largely invalidated by an international tribunal. The South China Sea is strategically critical, hosting a significant portion of global maritime trade and possessing rich fishing grounds and potential hydrocarbon reserves. For China, asserting control here is not just about resources, it is about securing its southern maritime flank and creating a strategic buffer zone. This waterway is seen as an indispensable part of its near-seas defense perimeter. Section 7. The Maritime Silk Road, Naval Power and Economic Reach. China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, a colossal global infrastructure development strategy, has a significant maritime component known as the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road. This initiative involves massive investments in ports, railways, and other infrastructure projects across dozens of countries, aiming to enhance connectivity and trade between China and nations in Southeast Asia, South Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. While primarily framed as an economic endeavor, the Maritime Silk Road inherently has strategic and security dimensions. A powerful navy is increasingly seen as necessary to protect the vast investments, shipping routes, and Chinese interests associated with this sprawling initiative. The expansion of the plan runs parallel to the expansion of the Maritime Silk Road. As China's economic footprint grows globally, so does the perceived need for a navy capable of operating far from its shores to safeguard these interests. Chinese commercial shipping, vital for the BRI's success, requires secure sea lanes. Section 8. Winds of Change, Geopolitical Ripples Across the Asia-Pacific. The rapid ascent of China's naval power is sending significant geopolitical ripples across the Asia-Pacific region, compelling nations to reassess their security postures and alliances. Regional powers such as Japan, India, and Australia are viewing China's growing maritime assertiveness with increasing concern. Japan, with its own territorial disputes with China in the East China Sea, is bolstering its self-defense forces and strengthening its alliance with the United States. India is accelerating its naval modernization to counter China's expanding presence in the Indian Ocean. Australia too is investing heavily in its naval capabilities and has deepened its security cooperation with the US and the UK through the AUKUS Pact. This shifting security landscape is leading to the strengthening and formation of new strategic alignments aimed at counterbalancing China's influence. The Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, comprising the United States, Japan, India, and Australia, has gained prominence as a forum for these democratic powers to coordinate on maritime security and other shared challenges posed by China. Section 9. Navigating 2025 and Beyond, the Future of Maritime Power. Looking ahead to the state of China's Navy by the end of 2025 and into the near future, we can anticipate continued significant advancements. The plan will likely have more aircraft carriers in service or nearing operational capability, including the advanced Type 003 Fujian with its electromagnetic catapults, and potentially progress on a fourth, possibly nuclear-powered carrier. The fleet of Type 055 destroyers and other modern surface combatants will continue to grow, alongside more capable submarines. We can also expect the plan to achieve greater operational reach, conducting more frequent and complex deployments in the Indian Ocean, the Western Pacific, and potentially even further afield, honing its blue water skills and global presence. The question of whether China will achieve naval parity or even superiority over the United States in the Pacific or globally remains complex. While China's shipbuilding outpaces the U.S. and its A2/AD capabilities pose a significant challenge to U.S. operations near Chinese shores, the U.S. Navy still retains advantages in overall tonnage, global power projection, advanced technologies like submarine stealth, and decades of combat experience. China faces challenges in areas such as anti-submarine warfare, joint operations coordination, and developing the highly skilled personnel needed to operate a truly global, high-tech navy. The future of maritime power will also be shaped by emerging technologies where both China and the U.S. are heavily investing. Unmanned systems, aerial, surface, and underwater drones are set to revolutionize naval warfare, offering persistent surveillance and new strike capabilities.